Welcome everybody to lesson 5 of our systems unit. Today we're going to be getting into some word problems involving systems. So again, let's do a quick review of our methods for solving systems of equations. As always, you can graph your equations and look where the intersecting point is, and that would be your solution. Okay, sometimes graphing might take too long, and it might just be easier to do substitution, where we isolate for one variable in one equation and then substitute that into the second equation. And then finally, we've learned how to do elimination, which sometimes can work really well, and at other times it might not be useful. So we're going to go ahead and do several problems today, and using these three methods. All right. So the first type of problem that you're going to come across are just number problems that don't really involve any real life examples. So for example, we have example number 1 here. We have the difference between two numbers is 9. The larger number is 3 more than twice the smaller number. So you need to convert these two sentences into two equations basically, and then go ahead and solve that system. So let's look at the first sentence here. It says the difference between two numbers is 9. Well, the most common, if you're used to x and y, we can go ahead and let these two numbers be x and y. So you can pick which one is going to be the bigger number. It's entirely up to you. So I'll go ahead and go x minus y equals 9. And again, how did I do that? Well, there's a difference between the two numbers. Difference is, of course, minus sign. All right, that's our first equation. The second equation says the larger number is 3 more than twice the smaller number. Well, the x is the larger number, so the larger number is 3 more than twice the smaller number. So twice the smaller number, let me go ahead and do that. Here's twice the smaller number, so 2 times the smaller number. Plus 3 equals the bigger number. So again, let me just repeat that. The larger number is 3 more. There's 3 more is, of course, a plus sign. Then twice is multiplication, multiplying by 2, twice the smaller number. All right, so we can go ahead and now it might just be quickest to do substitution here, because I've already got my x variable isolated, and I'm going to go ahead and put it into this equation right over here. So let me just go ahead and label this as the second equation, and then finally I'm going to create a third equation where instead of this x over here, I'm going to use this over here. So 2y plus 3, and then minus y equals 9. And I'm just going to go ahead and solve for y. 2y minus y is y. Move the 3 over, you get 6. So y equals 6. Well, if y is 6, you can kind of guess what x is. X is going to be 15. Not guess, but you can just do it in your head here. So 15 minus 6 equals 9. And let's check that for the second equation. 2 times y, 2 times 6 is 12, plus 3 is 15, and that is true for both equations. All right. All right, now we have some examples of perimeter here. So again, a real life example here. So it said the perimeter of a rectangle is 40 meters. That always helps to do a little diagram when you're doing these. So there's my rectangle, and I have, of course, the width. There's the width, and there's the length. The perimeter of the rectangle is 40, so all these 4 sides added together give me 40. Now it says the width is 4 meters less than the length, so the width equals 4 meters less than the length. So L minus 4 is the width. All right, that's going to help me here. So find the dimensions of the rectangle. Well, I'm going to go add all these 4 sides together. If I go L plus W equals 40, or 2L plus 2W equals 40. But instead of W, I'm going to go ahead and use this expression here, because that's going to help me get rid of, that's basically like substitution I'm doing. I'm just going to substitute instead of W, I'm going to substitute that over here, that information. So it's going to be 2L plus 2 times L minus 4 equals 40. And then go ahead and solve that. 2L plus 2L minus 8 equals 40. 4L equals 48. L equals 12. And L equals 12. Let's go ahead and put that on here. L equals 12, and W would therefore be 12 minus 4 would be 8. And let's go ahead and check that. So 12 plus 12 is 24. 24 plus 8 is 40. All right, money problems. You're going to get a lot of money problems, and it does help to form a system in order to solve these type of problems. So let's go ahead and do this. So Gary had a total of $260 in $5 bills and $10 bills. Okay, that's the first sentence that we're going to have to turn into an equation. And then he says, if he has 33 bills in total, how many of each denomination does he have? All right, let's go ahead and create our equation. So let's go ahead and use $5 bills. We can use F for that variable, and we can use T for the $10 bills. So let's go ahead and I'm going to start with the second equation, second sentence first. It says if he has 33 bills in total, well, how many bills does he have? $5 bills. He has F $5 bills plus T equals 33. So he has some $5 bills and some $10 bills. Okay, now the value of all this money is $260. So, how much money does he have in $5 bills? Well, he has 5 times F. Okay, so however many $5 bills he has, let's say he has 25 bills. 5 times 20 would be $100 in $5 bills. And then 10 times T for the value of the $10 bills, and that total value is going to be $260. And now we might do a elimination here. I'm going to multiply both by 5 here, so that's going to be 5, and 165. And now I'm going to go ahead and subtract these two equations here to get rid of the F's, the $5 bills. So I have 15, or rather 5 $10 bills equals 260 minus 165 to get 95, and then T equals 19. So he has 19 $10 bills, and then 33 minus 19 is going to give me 14 $5 bills. 14 $5 bills. Okay. Let's go ahead and do a few more here. Okay, so let's do this last one. So it says Laura invested her inheritance, all right, in two different, so $48,000 in two different mutual funds. At the end of 1 year, one fund had earned 10.5% interest, and the other fund earned 12% interest. All right, if she received a total of $5,520 in interest, how much did she invest in each mutual fund? Okay, well, we can call the mutual funds the two mutual funds A and B. Okay, so she invested in her inheritance in two different funds, so all of the money went into both funds. So $48,000 make up the two funds, and she invested all of it. Okay, she didn't save any, so she's really gambling all her savings here. Okay, that's our first equation. At the end of 1 year, one fund earned 10.5%. So 10.5, well, we have to convert that to a decimal, and that's going to be 0.105. So that's how much she earned and of the first fund, and we can just call that A. So however much money she invested in fund A, this is how much money she earned in interest. For example, if she invested $10,000 in fund A, and if she earned 10.5%, she would have earned $1,050 in interest. Okay. All right. How much did she earn in the second fund? 12%. So 0.12 of the total amount of Fund B, and those two interests added up to $5,520. Okay, so we have our two equations, and we're going to go ahead and multiply both of these. Again, we're going to do elimination here, so the best thing is just to multiply the top by 0.12. So it's going to be 0.12, 0.12, and then 0.12, 0.12 times 48,000 is going to be 5,760. Okay, now that we have our B's lined up, we can go ahead and subtract this. So let's go ahead and do that. So 0.12 minus 0.105 is 0.015 A. Okay, the B's are gone, so we eliminated those, and then 5,760 minus 5,500, that should be 240, and then divide both sides by 0.015, and we get $16,000 into Fund A. And then how do we get Fund B? Well, 48,000 minus that amount is going to get us Fund B. So 48,000 minus 16,000, and that should be 32,000. So Fund B was $32,000. All right, so thanks for watching, guys. Next class, we're going to do more word problems involving distances and mixtures and other applications. Okay, thanks for watching, and see you next time.